a student in graduate school, you were teaching, and in a row was Thom Mayne, Wolf Prix, and Rem Koolhaas, 45 students. It was the most intense, insane experience I've ever had, because all of you are, well, I think competitive, super talented. The students all felt this energy and vibration. It was not only within the studio, it was sort of vibrating across those three. But I was exhausted. It was like so much. It was. I still remember it. It was 20 years ago. But I see that in your work too. It's very exciting to see and feel that.
Well, some of us have known each other since we're kids, and kids you realize is in your late 40s in architecture. And Wolf and I have been friends forever. And your first question, I would have said that I would think everybody here would, a huge amount of architects respect. It's just without saying, it comes with an intensity, and you're giving a certain amount for the work, and it's emotional. And you pay for that sometimes, because we're in a world that doesn't like you to express that kind of artistic temperament, let's say. Because you're naming people that are on the very artistic side of the spectrum in architecture versus the service side. And when I was coming out of school, I stopped and was a planner for 4 years. And then when I came back to architecture at 28, my sole interest in being a young person out of architecture school was to maintain my voice, to have a voice. And I would have thought that, and I've taught my whole life, I've taught since I was 27 years old, I would have said that most of my students, most of everybody in this room that joined architecture had something to do with it's a profession that you can actually find your voice and make some impact on shaping behavior, shaping the world we live in social, cultural terms, political terms. And yet, of course, that's a complex conversation, because it comes with pitfalls, because in a culture, a country that so much supports, quote, freedom, if you kind of deviate too much from certain accepted ideas, you get kind of whapped.
And if you don't know it, I mean, he was one of the founding members of SciArc, right?
Right.
From the very beginning.
Right.
And that school has, I think, a parallel kind of, for me, kind of track with Morphosis in terms of its sort of energy and its experimentation. I think they're sort of going side by side for many years.
Yeah. And of course, when you're a student is the time you can really experiment. And that's your job, right? To define your own generation. It's where you can make mistakes. It's where you can push limits. And that's the precise time that takes place in your life. And you can still do it as a young practitioner. And as you move through life, they're a little more calculated, because the risks now come with huge responsibilities and investments, etc. And it's a very different kind of notion of risk than when you're young. And your job is to push the envelope, or define who you are as your generation and what you're contributing in evolutionary sense to the generation in front of you and the generation in front of that. You sense that? You're a younger guy, younger than me.
Not that young. I'm younger than you.
And you're now looking for, what do I do?
Right, that's
What's my role?
That's right.
And how do I contribute based on whatever's left in front of me as I begin my practice?
No, but that's right. I read about that. You said at 45, you said you had some kind of self-reflection, and you said that you were a little bit angry and you wanted to do something. I feel the same. Not that I'm angry. I just want to. I have to do something. 45.
Woo! It's coming. No, look. This is a really, really weird profession. I'm having 2 new knees put in a couple months because I want to ski again, and it's one of the absolute. I connected to UCLA, so I get absolutely the top surgeons in the world, and the guy I'm getting name's Thomas. He's one of the specialists in the world. People come to study him, an intern under him, and the stitch I'm going to get is about this long, and I'll be walking in one day. He's 43 years old. He's considered absolutely top of his game, and he has been for probably, at least 8 years. At 45, it's typical in this country, you're not quite getting your first commission if you're on your own, right? And 48, 50 maybe. Neil Denari got his first big competition in Taipei 6 months ago. He's 52. Frank Gehry got his first big commission. He was actually a little older. He was 53, 54, 55. I was just before 50. And it's hard not to get frustrated. We'll talk about it in a couple of years because you're at 45, you're not a kid anymore. There's not a whole lot you're going to learn, really, right? You are who you are. And I think all of you out here, which are starting your own practices or on your own or however you're doing it, I can't imagine you wouldn't have the same kind of sensibility because you're ready to move. And architecture is just more in this culture in the US than it is in Europe. You'll be 35 and you'll start. In Japan, ditto. China, way down. Whenever you come out of school, you're ready to go because they need architects. And it's I think it's normal. It's not. I can't imagine anybody being any different.
Well, I can't believe it. I actually have to stop because I'm being told we have to stop because our time is up. I wish
time's up.
I would like to go. We're at negative time, but I would love to do this. I wish we could do it longer. But thank you so much, Thom Mayne, 2013 AIA Gold Medal winner, well deserved. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.